What's up people, DoubleDragon, checking out a world boss. So I'm going to do a guide for this one because nobody has done it yet, and the dungeon journal is up for this boss. So Oondasta does a crush on his current target, inflicts 500,000 physical damage and reducing armor by 25 for a minute, right? So that means you're probably going to need to tank swap. Maybe at 1 or 2 stacks, it really depends. We'll see when the fight actually does come around and we can have a few attempts. So that's something that's I actually think is new. I'm not sure on the Shah of Fear or Galleon that you actually do need to taunt swap. Maybe I'm mistaken, maybe you do. So Frill Blast. Oondasta's armor is more than just decoration. You can charge up this powerful blast that inflicts 800,000 fire damage to all players within 60-yard hemisphere in front of Oondasta. So basically, don't stand in front of the boss. Tanks face him away. Okay, so there's a tank swap. And you gotta face him away, nobody stands in front of him. Seems very straightforward. Growing Fury. Oondasta's rage grows as the fight progresses, increasing all damage by 10%. That is just a softened rage, there's nothing else to it. Piercing Roar. Oondasta unleashes a piercing roar, inflicting 200,000 physical damage to all players and interrupting spell casting. Prevents spells of that class school from being cast for 10 seconds. Okay, so it's basically an interrupt, an AoE interrupt that also does 200,000 damage to all players. Doesn't say what the range is, and it doesn't exactly say. Oh, so you're casting a spell, right? This interrupts you for 10 seconds. It locks you out of that spell school for 10 seconds. So unless DBM tells you when he's about to do it, I don't really see how you're going to get around that unless you just do dots or instant casts. So yeah, that might be tricky. 200,000, kind of big, kind of a huge amount of damage to do to all players. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, I guess we'll see. I'll be saying that a lot, but you know, I don't know whether you could just stack up behind the boss. We'll see the last ability and see if you actually can stack up. Oondasta, oh, this is Spirit Fire Beam. Oondasta fires a beam of Spirit Fire energy at a player, inflicting 150,000 fire damage and jumping to a nearby ally. Up to 20 players can be affected, with damage increasing by 50% with each jump. Okay, so obviously you cannot stack. It says jumping to a nearby ally. It does not say what the range is. Once again, can't be sure of that. No range in the Piercing Roar, no range on the Spirit Fire Beam, so we can't tell how far away from a player you have to be. Let's just assume for now it's just like a safe distance, you know, 10-15 yards, alright? So you all go spread out, you can't stand in front of the boss, you got to do a tank swap. When you get, say, 1 or 2 stacks, I would probably say 1 stack at this point, but once again, we will see. And Spirit Fire Beam is essentially a chain lightning, alright? For all intents and purposes, it's a chain lightning that inflicts one target with 150,000 damage, which could fuck you up if you hit with a Piercing Roar and then a Spirit Fire Beam. So overall, this is going to be a tough fight. You know, I'm not actually sure if this is the difficult boss or if the other one is the difficult boss, but from what I can tell, this one is going to be a pain in the ass. 800,000 damage to all players in a 60-yard hemisphere in front of Oondasta for Frill Blast. Is that going to affect tanks? 800,000 will kill anyone in one hit. So how the hell are you supposed to avoid that? I'm guessing as a charge? Deadly. Tank alert. Yeah, but see, the thing is, I mean, unless he charges it up, that's the problem with Dungeon Journal. It doesn't tell me what yards away you have to be from an ability. It doesn't tell me how long it takes to cast an ability, so I can't fucking tell you a strat yet. I have to wait until, you know, there's some more data. But in the meantime, this is, you know, this is just a PTR strat. I can't give you all the answers. I can just give you some theories and stuff. This, overall, there's only about 5 abilities. Sure, the abilities that are there hit pretty hard. Spirit Fire Beam, deadly. Frill Blast, deadly. And there's a couple of tank abilities. And Piercing Roar is going to be a pain in the ass, alright? So you get the impression, alright? You got the basic strat down. Tank swaps, don't stand in front of the boss, spread out, and the healers have got to be mindful of this huge damage coming in. Tanks need to get away from the Frill Blast, assuming it has a timer. We will see. Anyway, that's all for now. I will check out the next boss when it is up. And yeah, I'll make a proper guide when this thing's going to go live. You know, this is not the definitive guide to end all guides. This is just an impromptu theories. All right, so stick around, subscribe if you want to. I'll be doing some more coverage of PTR. Blah blah blah. Have a good one, guys.